Hey everyone, and welcome to week 9 in Introduction to Life Science. This week we'll be studying molecular biology. The content is in chapter 9 in your textbook. I've also put some resources to support your understanding of the content in chapter 9 on the content page. Specifically, there's learning objectives, some terms to know, a video to help you see the differences in the structure between DNA and RNA, a video walkthrough of DNA replication. We talked a lot about DNA replication. It occurs before cell division, before meiosis and mitosis, remember in S phase. Now we'll get a look at how that process happens. And we're also going to learn about protein synthesis in chapter 9, and that's the process of going from DNA to RNA and then building a protein from the code in the RNA. So these tools are there to help you move through the chapter 9 content. This week our discussion is going to be about Rosalind Franklin. She was a scientist who used X-ray crystallography to help decipher the structure of DNA. Her story is one that really illustrates a lot of the bias and gender inequality that has been a huge factor and still is a huge factor in science. So we're going to get to know this and reflect on that aspect of her work and that aspect of science in general. So here's some resources that I want you to get to know. Maybe pick, 2 or 3 of these resources to read or watch, and then tell us what you learned about her, describe the controversy around her role in the discovery of DNA, and then give us some personal reflections. What did this make you think of? How did it make you feel? Cite the articles above within the text of your writing so we know where the information is coming from. So if you write a sentence that has a statistic in it from one of these sources, end that sentence with the author's last name and the date, or maybe a hyperlink to that particular source so that we can really trace and track your thinking about this. Get your initial post up by Wednesday at the end of the day, and then respond to your peers by Saturday at the end of the day. The molecular biology lab is going to have you using a whole bunch of different simulations in order to hopefully bring some of these processes that we're learning about in chapter 9 to life. So there's a bioman simulation, just looking at the structure of DNA. Complete that simulation and then answer these questions. There's another bioman simulation that should walk you through DNA replication. For gene expression, we're going to use a PhET simulation that should take you through making RNA from DNA and then making a protein from the RNA. Answer these questions about that simulation and then walk through this bioman protein race interactive. So you'll build proteins 2 different ways. And then when you're done, I'm asking you to create a summary table where you really compare and contrast the 3 processes that we're focused on: DNA replication, transcription, which is how we make RNA, translation, which is how we take the code in the RNA and make proteins. And then you're going to create a diagram like this one using this DNA code instead of this one. So with a different DNA code, you're going to have a different mRNA sequence here on the mRNA, and you're going to produce a different sequence of amino acids. So I'm asking you to make a diagram like this in addition to this summary table. To really demonstrate your understanding of gene expression. You'll turn all this in at the molecular biology assignment page right here. Like usual, there's a practice quiz to help you get ready for the 10-point graded quiz. The graded quiz and the lab are due Saturday at 11:59 p.m., same time your responses to your peers are due. And those initial posts in the discussion are due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. As always, please reach out if you have any questions.